Hello everybody. Now we see the applications of thermogravimetry. So one of the most important application of the thermogravimetric analysis is the determination of correct drying temperature. Determination of correct drying temperature for the precipitates obtained by gravimetric analysis. Precipitates obtained by gravimetric analysis. So another important application is the identification of gases which are given off when sample is heated. Identification of the gases given off when the sample is heated. Further, the composition of the residue can also be determined. This information reveals the chemical decomposition process for the heated material and permits or helps to identify the formula of residue. Okay, if you see in the figure at the right hand side, we are heating the calcium oxalate monohydrate. Calcium oxalate monohydrate. This is a calcium. This is oxalic acid formula. Okay, only the hydrogens are not there. It's a monohydrate. When it is heated, see what happens during this temperature. There is loss of water molecule. During this temperature, there is a loss of carbon monoxide. And during this temperature, there is a loss of carbon dioxide. Okay, so if you see here, so when a calcium oxalate monohydrate is heated in an inert atmosphere, okay, so loss of water molecule first take place, okay, over here. Then on further heating up to 400 degrees Celsius, there is a loss of CO2 molecule occurs. CO molecule, carbon monoxide is given off, and after that, the carbon dioxide is given off over here. Okay, this is how process is taking place. Again, we can study the thermogram for the copper sulfate pentahydrate. If you see here, so on heating, what happens? This is a plateau region over where no changes are taking place, and it decreases. So here again become constant, then decreases. Okay, then again plateau is there, then decreases. So whatever slopes are observed over there, there is a loss of sun molecule. So if you see down there, copper sulfate pentahydrate during the 81 to 91 degrees Celsius heating, it gives out two water molecule. After that, at 111 to 120, it gives out two water molecule to form copper sulfate monohydrate. And further heating at 220 to 250 degrees Celsius is again gives out one water molecule. And finally, copper sulfate formation is there. If you see in the diagram, same things are observed. From 81 to 96, one change is there. Then from 111 to 120, one change is observed. Then 220 to 250, one more change is observed. Okay, so same changes are there. We can see in the reactions below. So one of the most important application is we can study the polymers. Okay, decomposition mechanism of polymeric material is possible to study with the help of TGA curve. Then dehydration pattern of the solid can also be studied, and accurate drying and efficient temperature for inorganic precipitate is also possible. So the thermal decomposition characteristic of glass, ceramics, and building material like cement can be determined using the thermal analysis. So thermal decomposition of organic material can also be studied by thermal analysis. Example, thermal decomposition of malonic acid. We can study over here. See in the at the 150 degrees Celsius, what happens? There is a formation of acetic acid from the malonic acid, and CO2 molecule is given off. Okay, so clay and soil samples can also be analyzed using TGA technique. Okay, and the water content, then carbonate content and organic matter content can also be studied from the soil. So identification of the compound present in the mixture of the material is also possible. The components are thus identified and also quantitatively estimated. Like example is there magnesium oxide content and magnesium oxalate content in their mixture, that is a magnesium oxalate monohydrate dihydrate plus magnesium oxide is possible. So determination of two components is simultaneously possible by using TGA technique. So the determination of percentage composition of the binary mixture, like estimation of calcium and magnesium oxalate is also possible. So thermogram for calcium oxalate monohydrate exhibits three decomposition step, like calcium oxalate monohydrate. Over here, the three steps are there. In the second step, CO is given off. In the third step, CO2 is given off. Then thermogram for magnesium oxalate dihydrate In the first step, 2 water molecules are given off, then a single carbon monoxide is given off, and here carbon dioxide is given off. If you see to the right hand, these molecules are given off from the compound. However, a thermogram of a mixture of calcium and magnesium oxalate shows that magnesium oxalate does not pass through the carbonate stage. Magnesium oxalate does not pass through the carbonate stage. This difference in their normal behavior for their simultaneous analysis. Okay, they can be determined in the mixture by igniting at 2 temperature. At 500 degrees Celsius, over where CaCO3 and MgO are stable, and at 900 degrees Celsius, over where both metal exist as their oxides, that is calcium oxide and magnesium oxide. The weight of mixture precipitate at these 2 temperature is used to calculate the calcium and magnesium content from the original sample. Okay, so this is also a very good analysis of binary analysis can be carried out with the help of DGA technique. In the next lecture, we will continue with the DTA analysis, that is differential thermal analysis. Okay, it's a basic principle is there, then instrumentation is there. Here is the thermocouple, okay, furnace, then different components are there. The diagram is there, then reference material used. After that, applications of that technique are there. So I will continue that part in the next lecture. Thank you.